Congratulations on the film. It's
Thanks, Denise.
absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, lovely.
In Dumbo, we get to see you take on a completely new character. What was the path to get into this role?
It was all there in the script. I mean, as banal as an answer as that is, it was there on the page. You know, it was fairly obvious to me from first read that the film was very much about the collective. You know, there's no lead role or small roles, or everyone has a particular purpose. Every actor had a particular purpose to serve and a particular kind of emotional or psychological plot point that was being explored through them. And for me, it was, you know, as Dumbo's journey is a journey back to his mother, the journey of my character was a journey back to his children. And so at the start of the film, when you meet the character that I play, Holt, he's come back from the war, he's lost his arm, he's an amputee, he's physically obviously thereby not the person that he was when he left, but he's also emotionally and psychologically not the person that he was. He doesn't know how to relate to his children. In the time that he was gone away fighting in the first war, his wife has died, their mother has passed away, so he feels guilt and shame that he wasn't there to help them through that. So he's dealing with a lot of stuff, and it was all very clear that, you know, the simplicity, albeit hardship, that would be that struggle of that man back to his children was the journey that I was to tread, you know.
And I know you were very excited to work with Tim Burton on this film,
Yeah.
that marvellous mind. What's he like on set?
Gorgeous, yeah, he's lovely.
Oh, I can imagine.
No, he is. He's one of the great joys I've experienced in whatever it is, 25 years of doing this. He is kind of a bit like a Tasmanian dust devil. There might be more than one or two unfinished sentences throughout the day. Gestures wildly, but is beautiful and is obviously the mind that brought the worlds that I've seen over 30 years of cinema, from Pee-wee's Big Adventure on to Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and Ed Wood and whatever. That mind that brought those worlds into being, to be around that mind for 6 months every day, and to see him bring this world into being and to be a part of this frame, this canvas, was, I swear to God, it was an absolute joy. You know, there was a sweetness that was there every day on this film.
Yeah.
There really was, and everyone was there for the same reason. And Finlay and Nico, whose father I played, were wonderful to have there, and the stunt crew were great, and sure, he filled it with 150 circus performers from all over the world that were there every day, and it was just the strangest, most magical experience, you know. So if 30% of the magic that I felt in doing the film can be there in the end result, the film's going to be magic, you know.
Absolutely, and I know your sons are big fans of Tim Burton as well.
Yeah.
Have they seen the movie yet?
My youngest boy saw it, James hasn't seen it yet, but he will shortly, yeah.
Ah, exciting,
Yeah.
because I know that doing this film, one of the biggest reasons for you was so that your sons could see it.
Not really. I wish I could say
not?
I'm not that generous. No. Like, it's a nice kickback. Yes,
okay.
it is a nice kickback, and
Yeah.
I was aware that even if I didn't have kids, I would have done this film. But I was aware in having two lads that doing this was something that they could see, and I was hoping that they'd like it, and the jury's still out on that. I don't know, but it was a nice kickback
Yeah.
from doing this, and it was just
One of
lovely
the
to be part
factors.
of something. You know, not just my own kids, but the energy of being in something that is designed and oriented towards children and families was really lovely in the doing, and also in the promoting of. It's been a lot more joyful an experience to speak about this than it has been about, you know, naturally, I suppose. Because it's so light and it's so hopeful a film, you know. It's lovely to be paralleling it.
And when it comes to creating a modern Disney classic, do you feel pressure to do the film justice when it comes to like the hype surrounding it?
Not really. No,
Yeah.
I didn't. You know, not really. I think maybe if it was something that was more of a direct remake or retelling, because maybe I would have. I'm not sure even, but maybe I would have. But this had such a kind of such a new and complete narrative added on to our version than was in the 1941 original. This is about a 30% remake,
Yeah.
and about a 70% new film completely, because there was no adult story, there was no human story in the first film. So this is, you know, it's got Danny DeVito's story, a circus that's dying, that's trying to survive and figure out how to survive in a world that's ever changing. You've got Michael Keaton's story, Vanderveer, Ava Green, who plays Colette, who's trying to struggle and figure out where she needs to go to live a life of contentment and freedom, and then my character struggle back to his children, and there's all these human elements that didn't exist in the first one. So I think Tim honours the original film and essentially the story of this, you know, this anomaly, this beautiful, magical creature who, by virtue of being born with these massive ears, is ridiculed and shunned and treated with great cruelty initially, and how that thing that separates him from everyone else, is shown to be his magic. That story is still obviously at the centre of our film, but there's so much new stuff going on as well.
So much new stuff, exactly. And would Dumbo have been one of your favourite films growing up?
No, I never saw it growing up. Yeah, I know, disadvantaged youth, disadvantaged childhood. I never saw it. Jungle Book was a big one for me.
Okay.
Jungle Book, Aristocats, Lady and the Tramp. But I didn't see Dumbo until about 3 months before I jumped on the plane to go to London to shoot it.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I think I was a Beauty and the Beast girl.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Tale as
Beauty
Old
and the
as
Beast is lovely.
Time is just a tune.
Beauty and the Beast is lovely. Yeah. Did you like the film? Did you like the...
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely
Yeah, that was
loved it.
lovely.
I always dreamed of being Belle. I think that's my thing.
I wouldn't mind it being the Beast either. Never got the call.
And when it comes to getting into character for Holt, do you try to personally relate to the character, or what's the process?
I don't know. Inevitably, yeah, you do. Any judgments or any considerations always arrive by virtue of arriving from you. So you're always relating, even if you're seeing inconsistencies between what you believe and the character believes. That in itself is a relationship. But so you're always using your own imagination and your own experience to some degree, but you're trying to also just honour what's on the page and spend the time to travel, whatever. Sometimes the distance you travel, I suppose, to arrive at a character is greater than others. You know, I could go through all the jobs I've done and go, well, that guy was a little more like me. That was, I feel, was very unlike me. But even in something being very unlike you, you're always leaving from you. So there's always you always depart from the port of yourself, you know, so you're always in it in some way, shape or form, even if it feels very diametrically opposed to who you may be or what you may believe. But yeah, I just treated what was on the page, and I, as I said, it was clear early on that Holt's journey was one of, at the start, you know, loneliness and sadness and discomfort and shame and a few little psychological things, and then his journey back to the simplicity of just being present for his children.
Well, you did an absolutely phenomenal job, and I'm so excited for everyone to see this
Thanks
film.
a million. Thanks for saying that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What's happening? Where are they taking her?
Take Dumbo back inside.
But she's his mom. Do something. He needs us. Look at me. We're gonna bring your mama home.
He doesn't look like magic to me.
Your children need you to believe in them.
You can do it, Dumbo. Show him. Fly, Dumbo. Fly.
Baby of mine.